Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Wayne's World of Science and Technology, where I try and break down some of the complex things that exist out there. In regards to militaries, let's talk computer chips, because computer chips basically run everything in the military these days, which is like they run everything else in the world. I'm using one to record this video right now, as a matter of fact. And so, where do we go here? The original transistors, when they made the first solid-state transistor, were relatively large. They shrank them over a period of time as they learned how to build them better, more improved methods of making them, until the boys at Intel realized that they could make a mask and draw them on a piece of silicon. And that brought us to 4004, the first computer processor. Since then, they've worked hard to shrink the size of transistors, and this has been wildly successful, which is why my iPhone 16 Pro has a chip in it that, quite frankly, would power most supercomputers from 15-20 years ago. Computer chips have gotten incredibly good. Now, here's the trick. The really top-end chips are very, very difficult to make. When I say very difficult, we're talking really only TSMC can do it right now. Intel and Samsung are trying, but they are not succeeding. If, on the other hand, you're talking something like, say, 100 nanometer, guess what? Almost anybody can do it. Now, I say almost anybody can do it. There are, let's face it, this is not going to be a cheap build, but the equipment is relatively inexpensive compared to the really good stuff that you use for the really small nodes like 3 nanometer. And it's actually reasonably available from one point of view. If you go even further, you go to 1000 nanometer, basically any decent college could pull that off as far as making chips. They would probably have the capability of designing and putting together a production line too. It's just the really hot top-end ones that are, quite frankly, a absolute nightmare to make. And if you want a lot of power, when I say power, I mean computing power, you need the top-end chips. If you can make do with something less, you could build your own chip manufacturing. Sorry for the pause there. Dog just did his business and I had to dispose of it. Anyway, don't take my numbers as being 100% dead on, because I'm going by memory, and obviously I'm out walking the dog, so I don't have my computer in front of me. But a lot of the stuff is not that hard. It's when you get to the high end that it's hard. And so basically, if you were to, say, want to set up a European production plant, you could. And could probably set up one quite easily. The question is whether or not you have enough business to drive it. Now, as far as military is concerned, that's where the being able to set your own plant up really makes a difference. Because you can. Just think of this. You've got both India and Pakistan capable of setting up their own systems if they want. Iran probably could do it too, though they'd have a little bit more trouble getting stuff. I mean, it's not, at that level, it's not rocket science. The harder part at that level is actually getting the chip designed properly so that it does what you want. Anyway, that's it for now, folks. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.